Fair Use Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. May 4th. Entirely honest. We must be entirely honest with somebody if we expect to live long or happily in this world. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 73 through 74. Honesty, like all virtues, is to be shared. It began after I shared my whole life story with someone in order to find my place in the fellowship. Later, I shared my life in order to help the newcomer find his place with us. This sharing helps me to learn honesty in all my dealings and to know that God's plan for me comes true through honest openness and willingness. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. May 4th. Who am I? When I came to Al-Anon, I thought I knew the answer to that question, but I discovered that my answers were all out of date because I had long ago stopped asking myself who I was. I could tell you about the alcoholics and everyone else in my life, their likes and dislikes, opinions, feelings, but I had no such answers for myself. Al-Anon gave me 12 steps with which to rediscover myself, making a searching and fearless moral inventory of myself and sharing it with a trusted friend. Steps 4 and 5 were especially helpful. It was the first time in a long time I had paid so much attention to myself. I also learned about myself by listening in meetings. When I identified with others, I gained insight into my own thoughts and feelings. Today I know that I am a passionate, generous, opinionated, moody, honest, tactful, stubborn person. I know how I feel and what I think on an assortment of topics, and I am aware when these thoughts and feelings change. Al-Anon has given me back the only thing that was ever really mine to keep, myself. Today's reminder: recovery is a wonderful word. It means getting something back. Today I will try to remember that that something is me. There is a quote by James McInner, and it reads, "If a man happens to find himself, he has a mansion which he can inhabit with dignity all the days of his life." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, May 4th. What about the newcomer? Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. Tradition 5. Our home group means a lot to us. After all, where would we be without our favorite NA meetings? Our group sometimes sponsors picnics or other activities. Often, home group members get together to see a movie or go bowling. We have all made good friendships through our home group, and we wouldn't trade that warmth for the world. But sometimes we must take inventory of what our group is doing to fulfill its primary purpose: to carry the message to the still suffering addict. Sometimes when we go to our meetings, we know almost everyone and get caught up in the laughter and fun. But what about the newcomer? Have we remembered to reach out to the new people who may be sitting by themselves, lonely and frightened? Do we remember to welcome those visiting our group? The love found in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous helps us recover from addiction. But once we have gotten clean, we must remember to give to others what was so freely given to us. We need to reach out to the addict who still suffers. After all, the newcomer is the most important person at any meeting. Just for today, I'm grateful for the warm fellowship I found in my home group. I will reach out my hand to the still suffering addict, offering that same fellowship to others. Today, Emotions Anonymous. May 4th. Reflection for today. Sometimes it is difficult to say thank you. When the good life of EA becomes a habit, we express gratitude for the big miracles, but what about the little day-to-day gifts from above? One way, which has worked for me, is to buy a box of inexpensive and decorative thank you notes or make my own. Then I give myself a time limit, 2 weeks or a month, to use up every note. This makes me even more aware of how God gives me gifts through other people because I am looking for them. Meditation for today. I ask for your strength, guidance, and care. I thank you for everything which has been given to me today. Today I will remember. I will not be afraid to say thank you. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics' dysfunctional families. May 4th. Solution. Humor. We learn to reparent ourselves with gentleness, humor, love, and respect. BRB, which stands for Big Red Book, page 590. The great advantage of teaching our inner child to look at life with as much good humor as possible is that it relieves tension. Think for a moment about the last time we heard someone say, "I'm right and you're wrong." Did we automatically assume a defensive posture and scan the speaker's throat for their jugular? With the help of ACA, we can teach our inner child that instead of reacting, it's possible to reach instead for humor and say something like, "Even a stopped clock is right twice a day. So who knows who's right or wrong? What time is it anyway?" Learning to smile in the face of criticism is an important skill. It helps when we learn that going to war isn't always required if we can sometimes use our wit instead. Using humor to ease tensions is good for us. On days when we feel unlovable, silly, good humor can be just the remedy to lift ourselves out of a funk. Maybe we can tell ourselves, go find a mirror, look at your wonderful self, and give yourself a kiss. That person in the mirror is your inner child who will be grateful for our attention. When we find the humor, we're helping our inner child's urge to have fun, something that didn't happen nearly enough while we were growing up. The affirmation reads, "On this day I will remember that humor has a purpose, and I can use it to my advantage in the care and nurturing of my inner child." DHB Recovery Network. Affirmations, reflections, meditations, and devotions. Please like, subscribe, share, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be, one day at a time. I am Day. DAA are my initials.